When you think of Tenerife, you probably picture the tourist resorts in the south. But did you know there's a wilder side of this island with dramatic landscapes, hidden villages, and extraordinary places most visitors never see? Come with us today as we explore this wild Tenerife. And stick around to the end because I'll be sharing a surprise location, perfect if you're feeling brave enough to really get back to nature. One of the first wild places you might want to explore when you visit Tenerife is Teide National Park, home to Mount Teide, the third largest volcano in the world. Driving up through the lava fields really makes you feel as if you're on another planet. And it isn't surprising that this is a popular film location. I love the rocky landscape and the exposed green copper here. There was snow on Teide during our January visit, and the cable car wasn't running. But it's still worth coming up here for the views alone. Keep an eye on any snacks you bring with you because the altitude can turn crisp packets into balloons. There are many easy footpaths into the landscape here, but it can be windy and cold, so wrap up warm and wear a hat or hood. We're heading north now through the pine forests and having a little off-road moment to explore the world above the clouds. This was a really magical place. The landscape was littered with rocks and pine needles, and the air was so fresh and full of birdsong. Tenerife's biggest pine tree can be found close to here, the Pino Gordo, or fat pine. It's thought to be 800 years old and is over 45 meters high. It's quite an armful if you're a tree hugger. Tenerife's north coast is very dramatic. It's also very twisty. I don't often get car sick, but these bends really did test me. Perhaps filming in motion wasn't a good idea, but it was so beautiful that I had to try and capture it all. There are some fabulous tunnels along this road, with porthole-like windows onto the landscape beyond. And so many stunning flowers and banana plantations. There are also some very impressive rollers here. We came to visit the town of Garachicho, with its beautiful main square and church, and backdrop of rugged mountains. When we visited, there were life-size figures from the Nativity still on display. This included the 3 wise men on camels. We enjoyed time exploring the back streets with their traditional Canarian buildings, with wooden balconies, windows and shutters. The Castillo de San Miguel guards the town. It was built in the 16th century when the town was the main port on Tenerife. It's a rocky stretch of coast with many fine views and sheltered spots which one particular local seemed to be enjoying. If you're visiting Garachicho, don't miss the nearby town of Icod de los Vinos. I really fell in love with the trees and buildings here. It's such a special place to potter around gently. I'd been looking forward to visiting because there's a very particular tree here that you'll definitely want to see, the dragon tree. Believed to be the largest and oldest dragon tree at over 800 years, it's a real beauty with its umbrella-shaped crown. You can see it for free from the viewing platform or get a little closer in the botanical garden. But why not spend quality time gazing up into its canopy at the cafe here? And if you love trees as much as I do, you won't want to miss Anaga in the far northeast of the island. We drove up into the laurel forests to search for one of the most extraordinary stretches of road in Tenerife. It's a little tricky to find, but it's definitely worth the effort. The road cuts through the red rock covered in moss and sheltered by trees. It's wonderfully green and damp here, and just a little bit cooler than the south of the island, so wrap up warm. Another spectacular landscape you won't want to miss is Masca. There's just one road into this valley, and it can be a popular one. Even as the day was ending, there was still a constant stream of traffic, but it did lessen as we went on. Just be sure to take those corners carefully. And stop to take in the fabulous views of the valley road and the sea beyond. A wonderful sight as the sun sets. The remote village of Masca is a colourful, curious place that kind of looks half-finished and a little forgotten. It was originally a Guanche settlement, and there are around 90 inhabitants today. The tiny road is steep, and Roy helped a local woman with her bags. This is a spectacular end-of-the-road place, and I was so happy to see it. It's popular with hikers doing the Masca Trail, which starts here and ends at the coast. And there's one of the most famous views of the island that I think rivals anything in South America. We were staying near Los Gigantes on Tenerife's west coast. There's a popular resort here, but you can still get a feel of the wild Tenerife if you take a walk by the cliffs. Just be careful on the few wet and windy days they have here. And be sure to take a boat ride out from the harbour. We went with the Masca Express and had fabulous sightings of pilot whales and dolphins. It's so much fun trying to guess where they'll appear next. Our boat actually picked up a walker who'd done the Masca Trail, as there's a jetty here for those intrepid souls. You can do another fun boat trip from the popular resort of Los Cristianos. The Barrielli offers 3 2-hour trips a day when the weather conditions are safe, and there's a good chance you'll see plenty of wildlife. Our first sighting was of a loggerhead turtle bobbing in the water. We did see a lot of pilot whales, but it was hard to capture them because of the rocking. It's lovely to leave the bustle of the town and head out to sea, but do pick your day carefully, as the boat has an upper deck and it can rock in windy weather, as we found out. We coped well, but there were a couple of people suffering, but there were sick bags at the ready. And my surprise location is Playa de la Tejita in the south of the island. It's not the wildest beach in Tenerife. You're close to a busy road and the airport, but it does offer the chance to strip everything away if you fancy an all-over tan, because this is a nudist beach, the perfect place to be truly at one with the elements. Thank you so much for joining us on this tour of Tenerife. I hope it's encouraged you to see a little of the wilderness and wildlife of this magical island when you next visit. To take the roads less travelled, and to be inspired by the wild beauty of it all.